15 of Cameron Combs. Combs trying to work his way. It's Kurt Sponsler. Sponsler will pick up stage win. Mr. Garland is Garland leading the way, showing these drivers how to get it done as the
Engines roar louder than a lion about to feast. Racers in the zone, gripping wheels like a beast. Outcast League, tearing up the blacktop terrain. Rubber burning speed, churning gasoline in their veins. Peacemaker's lens captures it clean. Broadcast a dream on a digital screen. NASCAR hearts with that outlaw creed. Outcast racing warriors of speed. Start your engines, thunder shakes the pit. Chrome shining bright, every car's legit. Draft moves tighter than a surgeon's hand. Chasing glory down roads cut loose from the land. From dusk to dawn, they circle the fight. Tires scream rebellion under stadium lights. Lap by lap, adrenaline sparks the night. Outcast League ends, never out of sight. Lens captures it clean. Broadcast a dream on a digital screen. NASCAR hearts with that outlaw creed. Outcast racing warriors of speed. Start your engines, thunder shakes the pit. Chrome shining bright, every car's legit. Draft moves tighter than a surgeon's hand. Chasing glory down roads cut loose from the land. From dusk to dawn, they circle the fight. Tires scream rebellion under stadium lights. Lap by lap, adrenaline sparks the night. Outcast League ends, never out of sight. Racetrack gladiators, helmets on tight. Every second matters, every turn ignites. Born for the fuel, engines never betray. At the finish line, see who outruns the fray. Louder than a lion about to feast. Racers in the zone, gripping wheels like a beast. Born for the fuel, engines never betray. At the finish line, see who outruns the fray.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rumble here this evening. As each and every one of these drivers ready to go to battle, ready to duke it out here in this one, as we'll get ready to take a look here at our starting grid for the day. So starting in the pole position in the number 14, right? Is that right? Is that wrong? Let me take a look here. Where are we at here with this? Is this showing us? Okay, this is showing us top. Let's go to the front here. Let's go to the front. So starting on the pole in the number 9, right, it is Tyler Humphrey. It's actually a Humphrey front row here this evening. So Tyler Humphrey and Grant Humphrey will start in the top 2 positions here this evening for the Outcast Racing League, as every one of these drivers looking for the win this evening. Outcast Racing League. Let's get that title changed. There we go. All right, so Grant Humphrey, Tyler Humphrey, 1 and 2 on the starting grid. In row number 2, it is Chris Muse and Caleb McKinney. Starting in position number 5, that is Devin Black and Dom Salvo, rounding out our top 6 with Corey Crowell, Josh Bromfield, Chad Lancaster, and Casey Gross rounding out our top 10. Al Reed and Cameron Combs back in row number 6 here in this one, as we'll jump forward here a little bit. There we go. All right, so starting in position number 13, it is Billy Jordan. To his outside, it's Nicholas Barton. Wayne Garland, Edward Bell, Air, Rob Tuwiscu, Mike Killingbeck, James Garland, Kurt Sponsler Jr., will round out our top 20. With Anthony Garland, Johnny Thunders, Evan Stewart, and Gary Wright back there in the 24th position, rounding out our starting grid here this evening, as each and every one of these drivers is going to get ready to duke it out, getting ready to go to battle here in this one. Let's take a look here at the breakdown of today's racing action. So a quick look here at the breakdown. Looks like we got to make this a little bit bigger or move it around here a little bit. Where are we at? There we go. That's kind of close-ish. Let's go with that. Should look that beforehand. All right, there we go. So, crew chief breakdown here this evening, brought to you by Mr. Tyler Humphrey. So, it is in Las Vegas, Nevada, track length 1.5 miles long. You see our stages at the completion of lap number 30 in the completion of lap number 60 here. They got about 30 to 32 laps on a fuel run. They got 3 sets of tires back there behind pit wall and only 1 quick repair. So, you got to keep your car clean and out of trouble here this evening. Let's take a look at the penalty report here. So Luke Wagner suspended from the remainder of the season 10 schedule. Unfortunate break there for him. Anthony Garland, 10-point penalty after last race due to no protest from being submitted. So tough break there for those drivers earning those penalties, but nonetheless, we're going to get ready to set them loose as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as the green flag quickly into the air for Tyler Humphrey. As Humphrey gets a great launch, a good start here is him and Grant Humphrey, twin brothers on the front row, looking for a good run here this evening as the Isabel Impact number 9 ride will clear his brother, jump up to the high side lane, but a big move early on for Caleb McKinney. McKinney looking to make some moves here, going 3 wide here for second. Oh, brother, this is going to be a fun day of racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as Tyler Humphrey does lead lap number 1. We will see our first caution flag fly. So our first yellow flag will be displayed. We did see Chad Lancaster having to come down pit road, but I do believe we will see Billy Jordan run into some issues here. Let's take a look back and see what happens, as looks like for Billy Jordan, maybe getting a little loose here on the middle groove. Let's see if there's any help or any contact here as the 84 down to the inside, and it just looks like net code right there. All right, so a big net code. First caution flag of the day. You see Cameron Combs maybe getting a little contact, a little damage out of that one as he gets a piece of the 14 as well. But look at Rob Tuwisku riding up on the 22 ride. Anthony Garland's going to get some damage there as well, and then you're going to see Billy Jordan go around, up, and into that outside fence. Pretty solid contact there for a few of these drivers early on this evening. A lot of tore-up race cars here deeper in the field, and for Billy Jordan, that's a couple big hits in this one. As Tom Kurt says, number 49, Kurt Sponsler here, says, running a paint scheme for Veterans Day weekend in honoring my dad, Kurt Sponsler Sr., who will be riding on board with me. To my dad watching at home, thank you for your service, Mr. Kurt Sponsler Sr. We all appreciate you and can't thank you enough for your service. As Evan Stewart in the chat as well says, starting from the back, let's see how far we can get today. Well, early on for that number 13, right, Evan Stewart having to dodge a bullet there, and a few of those cars getting checked up. Luckily enough, he's able to avoid contact, and it looks like he's navigated his way up into about the 18th position. So up about 5-6 spots early on here in this race. So good start here for the 13 ride as Tyler Humphrey able to lead that first lap. Probably not the caution flag you want to see. Probably want to see some good green flag laps being laid down right there. A good launch, a good restart for him, and he's hoping to use that to his advantage throughout this feature event. As out in front, Tyler Humphrey does have the race lead. He is at the front of the pack. He will get ready for this restart and looking to try to keep all these drivers back there behind him as we do see Billy Jordan get back out onto the racetrack here. Good news for Billy Jordan is that he gets to continue to battle here this evening. Unfortunately, looks like he's used that quick repair up this early on in the evening. Is never a good time as we do see Edward Belair, Rob Tuwisku, Anthony Garland all down pit road trying to get some repairs here, hoping the crew can kind of get them fixed up back into one good piece here before we go back to green flag racing, in which case they may have to hurry up here. They do not want to get lapped down pit side here in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, man. Hit that like button on the stream for us right now. Hit that thumbs up button for us. Hit that gosh heck and subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family. Here today as we'll get ready to stack these drivers up. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing after an early caution flag this evening, an early yellow flag, mixing things up, making things a little bit crazier. Let's see if we can take another quick look back and see what happened as our race leader able to lead, our pole sitter able to lead that first lap, but it's back behind him as Billy Jordan getting loose right here. We're on Kurt Rob Tuisku there. There's the 14. So there's the contact. Unfortunately, just a little neck code right there, and then it's on like Donkey Kong, and a bunch of heavy hits here, unfortunately, for this 14 run. Going to get the worst end of it. Some pretty solid damage, some pretty tore up race car right there, and obviously having to use that quick repair early on this evening. Not a fun place to be for that 14 ride. But for the Humphreys, it's Tyler Humphrey, Grant Humphrey, 1 and 2 out there on the Speedway. They will get ready here for the restart as the must-love Poodles 48 to the inside is not the control car here. Our race leader, the 9 of Tyler Humphrey, electing to use the outside lane here for this restart. So, a little early strategy there with that lane selection. Maybe it's just Tyler Humphrey trying to get a feel of where the best restart spot is going to be. Maybe the outside lane is going to be that preferred spot for our restarts this evening. Maybe Tyler Humphrey already had that information into his gear, knowing that the inside is just not the place to be for these restarts, as he'll get ready to see the green flag come back out. Let's see if we can go a couple laps here before the next caution flag, as the pace car will pull off here back down pit road, and that'll unleash the field again to our race leader. Tyler Humphrey is down through the Geico restart zone. He will go as here we go. Green flag back out into the air. Great launch there for the 9. Good launch for the 48 of Grant Humphrey as well. Trying to stick right there with that 9 ride. Able to get a good launch. Both drivers able to clear all the drivers back behind them. So for Grant Humphrey sitting in that second spot, he's got Chris Muse and Caleb McKinney right there behind him. But luckily enough, a bit of a gap. But here they come in a quick hurry. Reeling him in, looking to make the move down to the inside goes Chris Muse. Muse looking to try to jump up and into third here, as you do see Dom Salvo up into position number 5, and now looking to the outside. A great run down through 3 and 4 for that number 24, and Dom Salvo looking to try to jump inside the top 4 here this evening, as Devin Black right there behind him in that 6th position. Corey Crowell back in 7th, with Al Reed, Casey Gross, and Josh Bromfield rounding out our top 10. James Garland and Wayne Garland back in position number 11 and 12 here on the Speedway, with Cameron Combs, luckily enough, not too much damage there for the 15 ride, rolls in that 13th position. And Evan Stewart, in that HB Racing number 13 ride, said, you know what, we're going to start at the back of the pack today. We're going to try to work ourselves up and through the field, and so far he's done a great job at it, passing right now for that 14th spot on the Speedway, now up 9 positions early in this race. Nicholas Barton, Mike Killingbeck, Gary Wright, Edward Belair, Kurt Sponsler in that beautiful and Army number 49 ride, the one that has his old man Kurt Sponsler Sr. riding on board with him here this evening, back in that 19th position right now. Unfortunately, a little bit of front end damage here for that Elite Sim Racing number 49 ride. Let's see if we can get a look here at the front end of this car. There we go, get a good look here at, see if we can get another angle with this maybe. There we go. So SFC retired Kurt Sponsler Sr. of the U.S. Army on board here with Kurt Sponsler Jr. having his dad right on board, man, in our Veterans Day weekend. Is it Veterans Day or the Veterans Day weekend here this evening. So heck of a paint scheme, heck of a car here this evening for that number 49 rider, Kurt Sponsler. And right now with that early damage, he'll look to have to rebound after that early contact, as he now sits back in about the 20th position. But there is some contact. A few drivers having some issues. They're wrecking on the front straightaway. Dom Salvo collected, and there is our pole sitter as well, Tyler Humphrey, in there, as well as Evan Stewart. Evan had been working his way through the field, now with some heavy damage. Let's take a look back and see what happens as our second caution flag of the day is going to fly. And I do believe this will start up towards the front here. Tyler Humphrey and the 24 ride. Looks like they're going to get some contact here. So the 24 of Dom Salvo had raced his way up towards the front here, making some big moves early on. And then here just looks like he gets loose, tries to save it. And man, that's just such a hard spot for Tyler Humphrey. Obviously, you're expecting the car that just passed you for the race lead to be able to pull away with it. And as we watch, we're going to watch this 24 ride right here. He's just going to get loose right there. Loses the rear end. The 9 rides on his back bumper. Can't get checked up in time. And unfortunately, as the 24 is still getting a little bit loose, they get together. Hard contact up into the outside fence for that Schenko ride. And there goes that Landesco machine around as well. Heavy contact into the outside fence. And I do believe this is where we're going to see the 13 ride trying to get through here. And unfortunately, Tyler Humphrey washes back down the racetrack and right into the lap here of Evan Stewart. Man, that is a heartbreaker there for Evan Stewart, moving up and through the field here. And man, you just gotta imagine you get onto the binders here a little quicker. You see these cars turned around and just doesn't get checked up quick enough. And obviously that contact, that's going to put him back down pit side and having to use a quick repair early on here. Same with Tyler Humphrey and Dom Salvo, all going to have to use quick repairs early on this evening, man. That is not a fun spot to be as Tyler Humphrey still rolling out there. He hasn't used that quick repair as of yet. We do see Evan Stewart's used it. We do see Dom Salvo's had to use his. So unfortunately, that's another couple of drivers early in this race having to use those quick repairs. And now good break is to this number 02 rider, Chad Lancaster. Lancaster had a black flag from 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately for this 02 ride, he will unfortunately go, I do believe, 2 laps down here early on in this race, but luckily enough, this caution flag will give him the wave around. The only driver being a lap down, so he should get a lap back here, be 1 lap down, and really close to being back into the action here this evening. After some craziness, it will give the race lead here to Chris Muse. So our first and second place drivers get tied together, and that will put Chris Muse as our race leader here this evening. Caleb McKinney back in second. Grant Humphrey there in third. Devin Black and Al Reed will round out our top 5 as he's got that beautiful M&M ride here this evening. The M&M Auto Parts Inc. riding on board here not only with Al Reed but also on board with Caleb McKinney here this evening. A huge shout out there to M&M Auto Parts Inc. for being on board here with us and being our race sponsor this evening, as the M&M Auto Parts 300 here this evening has already shown some pretty good craziness, man. It's been pretty wild. It's been pretty crazy here in this one. It's Melissa Morgan. Melissa coming in, becoming a brand new member of the Peacemaker family here this evening, hitting that subscribe button, becoming a new subscriber here on Peacemaker Gaming. Huge shout out there to Melissa Morgan coming in, being a new subscriber here on the channel. As we'll get them all stacked up, ranked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Chris Muse with the race lead. He'll get ready to be released as the pace car will make a hard left-hand turn back down pit side. So the pace car will head down pit road, and that will unleash the field once again into the hands of our race leader. This time, though, it is Chris Muse with the restart. What will he do down for the Echo Park restart zone as there's contact on the restart? Around goes one driver, and the caution flag will come right back out. So unfortunately here, looks like James Garland going to get turned. So cautions breeding cautions, and here on the restart, James Garland going to go around here. Let's take a look back, see the contact. He's got Cameron Combs right on his back bumper. See if there's the contact here. If they get a little log jammed here. There you go. Okay, so the 37 gets a little bit of a gap here between himself and the 77 ride before he fires right here. In turn, he gets a big launch right here for Cameron Combs. He's almost doing the same thing, or I don't know how close he was, but it seemed like they were pretty close here up until about this point, and then they kind of hang back a little bit. So the 37 hanging back a little bit off the 77. The 15 ride in turn doing the same thing, but at the same point in time, the 37 of James Garland is on the throttle. These other drivers haven't really fired off yet as Chris Muse gets to handle that restart. He gets to fire anywhere in that restart zone. And obviously for the 37, shot early. Gets in the back end of the 77 of Casey Gross. That checks him up. The 15 right at Cameron Combs gets into the back end of him, and that will spin. Unfortunately, the Number 37 Toyota around down into the infield to bring the caution flag back out. So another early caution flag here in this one as Ronnie Stewart says, let's go, Evan. And what's up, Peacemaker? What's up, Rodney? What's good, Mr. Stewart? How are you, brother? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Sunday here in this one, man. Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Hopefully you guys are ready to see some more great racing action here. Obviously, a couple early caution flags here. We're only 15 laps into this race. We're getting closer and closer to the end of stage number 1 here in this one. Let's see. Will we have another caution flag before the end of this stage? All right, we're going to start a Q&A over there, ladies and gentlemen. There is the Q&A. What do you guys think here? Let me see. Does this even give us a good option here? Let me see. I don't know how this works. All right, so there's a Q&A. Do you guys think we will have another yellow flag here in stage number 1 before we see the completion of lap number 30? We will get ready to go back to green flag racing probably around lap number 16, lap 17 more than likely. So it should be about 13 laps of green flag racing without that caution flag. Make sure you guys jump into the comment section. Let us know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we will have another yellow flag before the end of stage number 1? Apparently I can't spell. I put 2 A's in stage. Don't mind the spelling error, but we're trying to keep up with some of the chat stuff and see if we can give you guys a pretty crazy little bit of a Q&A here, man. Let us know in the comment section right now. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think we will see another yellow flag here in this stage, or do you think it'll stay clean and green here this evening? As this should be a lot of fun, man. This is going to be very, very interesting to see how this one kind of plays out and see who can try to pick up the first stage win of the evening. Chris Muse still out in front here. All he had to do was really hit that restart. Couldn't really lose the race lead right there, but he does see a few of the tough racers back behind him run into some issues, as that will send Cameron Combs and James Garland both back behind pit wall here for a little bit. Unfortunately for both drivers, now at the rear of the field. And for Tyler Humphrey, oh man, heartbreaker here for Tyler Humphrey. Looks like Tyler Humphrey getting a black flag here as well as he came down pit road. Maybe it may have been a closed pit lane, and it looks for Tyler Humphrey. He's going to have to do a pass-through penalty here this evening, and so won't Rob Tuwisku. So a couple black flags here drivers will have to deal with during the green flag conditions. That could make things even more interesting later in this race when they start to battle for those lucky dogs. As here we go, we'll try it all over again as the green flag back out into the air for the 99 of Chris Muse. As Muse, big restart right there. Big restart, great launch for the 99 as Chris Muse fires early in that box, and he is able to get a good launch here between himself and Caleb McKinney. So for Chris Muse, our race leader, looking to try to run away with this stage. Grant Humphrey right there in position number 2 as Ronnie Stewart says, yep, he thinks there's going to be another caution flag here this evening. There may be another yellow flag here in this one. That is for certain. As Randall says, clean and green. Says clean and green, brother. I like that. I like clean and green. Clean and green would be nice to see as we are back to clean and green. We are seeing some good laps here, and these drivers putting on a good show for us as we do see Tyler Humphrey having to head down pit road, serve his penalty. So isn't Rob Tuwisku in that 6 ride. So unfortunately for those drivers having to serve those penalties, it should put both of them probably at least a lap or 2 down here in this race. As Chris Muse, though, with the race lead down and out of corner number 4, back down across the line, will complete lap number 19. We get 11 laps left to go here. 11 laps left here in stage number 1. Will we see some craziness? Will we see another caution flag, or will it stay clean and green here to see that green and white checkered fly? As Caleb McKinney there in second, Devin Black right with them in position number 3. Grant Humphrey there in 4th, and it's Casey Gross. Great run here for that Quantum Motorsports Outcast Racing League number 77 ride as he jumps up now inside the top 5. Our Reed right there behind him as the M&M Auto Parts number number 3 machine of Al Reed up and into position number 6 here on the Speedway. Looking to gain at least another spot or two, hoping to try to gain some extra bonus points here in this first stage of the day. Corey Crowell, Josh Bromfield, Wayne Garland, and Gary Wright are top 10 out there on the racetrack, man. Another great run here for Gary Wright. Gary's been stepping up his game, man. Last few weeks, this 16 ride has looked really, really good, really strong out there on the Speedway, but right behind him, a driver early in this race we saw make some big moves, got to the front of the field, was able to take the race lead away from Tyler Humphrey, Grant Humphrey, and Caleb McKinney and Chris Muse. So for the 24 ride, he's already worked his way through a lot of this traffic, and now here he is again, trying to race his way up and through the top 10. It's going to get tight right here. There's contact. Look out. That is, oh no, Gary Wright's collected. Here they go. Wrecking again. Caution flag is back out. Yellow flag is out. Kurt Sponsler's in there. And unfortunately for Dom Salvo, already using a quick repair in this race. That's some pretty significant damage for the 24. Ryan looks like he's going to tow it right down behind pit wall here in this one. As Gary Wright, we just talked about Gary and how he was looking good, looking strong, but it's 3 wide off of corner number 4. So the lap down number 6 ride, just trying to stay out of the way here, just trying to keep himself out of trouble, trying to not put himself into a bad position. They're already 3 wide here at this point. So I think for that number 24 ride, you're already getting the call that it's 3 wide. I think he's moving up the track. The 6 ride who's let down, just trying to stay up and out of the way. Unfortunately, the 24 so high up there runs into the 6 ride. That's going to shoot him down the racetrack. Hard contact into Cameron Combs. The 16 will then in turn get into the 24. Then we see the 81 rider Anthony Garland get some damage. The 24 ride's going around, nowhere to go for Nicholas Barton as Barton slams into the 24 ride. Now this is going to shoot Dom Salvo back up the racetrack, and here comes James Garland. James, hard contact there into that passenger side of the 24 ride, and it's not done yet for Dom Salvo because here comes the 49 of Kurt Sponsler as well. Unfortunately, Kurt couldn't get checked up in time, and he drives in to the driver's side of that 24. So damage on all 4 corners here for that 24 machine as the caution flag will come back out. Rodney, you definitely called it, brother. You definitely called it, man. You knew there was going to be another one, and yes, sir, there was. So another caution flag. A few more tore up race cars here this evening, man. That is never a fun time, never a good time, as we do see a few drivers like to come down pit road here. So Anthony Garland obviously looking to get some repairs again for this Poor Boy Motorsports ride. He heads down pit road. Edward Belair down pit side. We see Cameron Combs obviously coming down pit road. He's got to get some damage repair done to his race car. Same with Nicholas Barton. Gary Wright's down pit road. He's getting his car fixed up here as the Torchy's Tacos number 16 ride. Not the start he was hoping for here. Obviously early on, working his way up inside the top 10. Looked really, really good at the start of this race, man. It looked like he was going to be doing a great job. Looked like he was going to be able to potentially, have a good solid run here. He's going to have to try to rebound and hope that they can get this car fixed up and back out there on the racetrack quick enough. And now for Tyler Humphrey, I do believe Humphrey was in the free pass position. So for the 9 ride, should get the wave around here back on the lead lap. That's a great break there for Tyler Humphrey, being able to get himself back into the battle here this evening. For Salvo, unfortunately, looks like he may be parked down pit side here for an extended period of time. Already a couple laps down. Rob Tuwiscu also already a few laps down there in that RT3 Designs LLC Elite Sim Racing number 6 machine, unfortunately, is down pit road. We'll look to get some more repairs. We'll look to try to get that car fixed up and back out there and trying to see if he can maybe see a couple more caution flags, a couple more yellows. Maybe that can work him into getting back on a lead lap here throughout this race as well. As we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. We do see Tyler Humphrey will head down pit road here, so he's going to make another pit stop. I'm not sure if he's going to get tires, but he's probably going to get some fuel. And and maybe some extra damage or repair done to that 9 ride as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Unfortunately, Dom Salvo still parked down pit road, but for the 99 at Chris Muse, this gets him a little bit closer. Another big restart, another good launch for this 99 ride. Could be all he needs to try to win stage number 1 here this evening in the M&M Auto Parts 300 here at the Outcast Racing League as the Monster Energy 99 ride. Gonna get ready to see this green flag fly again here. Will he get the same launch that he had before? Will Caleb McKinney try to time this one a little bit better, maybe not get caught sleeping and try to stick with this 99 ride to give himself a little bit more of a fighting chance at trying to steal this stage win away from the 99. As here we go, pace car getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn back down pit side, and there he goes, unleashing the field again to the 99 of Chris Muse as down through the Geico restart zone. Good launch again for Muse. He clears the 76 of Caleb McKinney. This time McKinney hangs with him a little bit longer, but the caution flag will come right back out. So caution flag will fly again here. Looks like Gary Wright here on the restart. We're going to run into some problems now. We talked about Gary Wright, how he was doing such a good job, and now all of a sudden, there we go, virtually the same as what we saw early on here with the 15 ride in the 37 of James Garland. Doing another angle at this one here. So hanging back a little bit, waiting for this restart. So he's got about a car length between himself and the 13 ride of Evan Stewart. Evan trying to keep himself rolling, and you're going to see this big launch right here for the 16. Trying to time it right, trying to see if he can get a good run here. Maybe steal a couple of spots on this restart. Unfortunately, has to get checked up. Timed it wrong, and as he's on the binders, the 6 rider Tuiscu thinks all the cars in front of him are going. He thinks the green flag is out. He's on the throttle. Unfortunately, as he gets in there, he gets into the back end of the 16 ride, who's on the binders, not trying to run over the 13 ride, and in turn, he gets ran over himself, and the 16 goes around up into the outside fence, and the caution flag will be displayed again. So another caution flag, and I do believe that they may call that the stage break right here. We'll have to wait and see if they officially call that the stage break here in this one, which would be, in turn, a really good break for Mr. Muse here. For Muse, that would be a great break here for him. Being able to win this stage, being able to get that extra point here would definitely mean a lot for that number. I'm trying to get this logo lined up right. It's definitely proven wrong to get this thing lined up. The top left. That was a little bit better. All right, as yeah, unfortunately now our 5th caution flag of the day, our 5th yellow flag early on in this race. Obviously some issues on these restarts, but luckily enough for some of these drivers, potentially earning some laps back, trying to get themselves back into the battle. As there goes Tyler Humphrey. I do believe Edward Belair also has disappeared off the racetrack here. Same with Dom Salvo. So it looks like Salvo off the racetrack down behind pit wall for Edward Belair. Looks like he may have lost connection here to the server as Gary Wright back down pit road. So is in Anthony Garland and Kurt Sponsler here, all looking to get some more repairs here. Good break for them. This is a great time as they're able to get, all this extra time down pit road, extra time for the crew to get some repairs done to their race cars. So it's a great break for them. Obviously, for our race leaders, maybe not the best break that they want to see. They probably want to see some clean and green racing action, but I do believe as they head down across the line here, this will complete lap number 29 here this evening, and this should end stage number 1 the next time by. So virtually Chris Muse being handed stage win number 1 this evening. I do believe we will see the lights turn off the official iRacing pace car here in this one, as Ronnie says these guys love to wreck. First part of the race been like that all season. Yeah, first part seems to be a little bit rough. The middle to end seems to get a lot better, a lot cleaner here. So takes them a little bit. By the time they kind of get some, some extra open track out there, and maybe some of the jitters out of the system, or some of the aggressiveness may be gone, it tends to get a little cleaned up here in that second stage and towards the final stage of this race as well. So we'll have to wait and see if that will continue on here this evening, as we'll Not sure if we're going to see the green flag come right back out here, if the caution flag will come right back out. This is going to be an interesting one. Yeah, so here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. This will be interesting here. If this is not going to be technically the end of the stage, then we will see these drivers continue to battle here. Our top 10 have yet to come down pit road here in this races. Here we go. Good restart there for Chris Muse. Gets a good launch, a good restart, but there is the caution flag. So I do believe that will officially end the stage right there. So that ends the stage here this evening. I don't believe anyone went around. I don't believe anyone had any issues here on the restart. A little bit of contact there, but we don't see anyone turned around, anyone down through the infield. So I do believe that was the end of stage number 1 this evening. So for Chris Muse wins that stage. Killen McKinney will come home in second. Devin Black there in third. Grant Humphrey back in fourth with Al Reed running out our top 5 here in stage number 1. Casey Gross, Josh Bromfield, Corey Crowell, Mike Killingbeck, and Billy Jordan will round out our top 10 here in this first stage of the day. As, man, this has been a bit of a wild one, man. Definitely a bit of a crazy one here this evening, as each and every one of these drivers will look to try to continue to battle here, continue to put themselves into a winning position here this evening. As let's see if we can get a poll up in the chat right now as well. What do you guys think here? Let's get a poll up in the chat here this evening. What do you guys think for caution flags in stage number 2 this evening? Stage number 2, we got a poll up in the comment section right now. Make sure you guys cast your votes. Let's see what you guys think. Do you see, potentially, 0 caution flags? 1 to 3 yellows? What about 3 or more, man? I don't know. We saw technically 5 in that first stage, so 5 caution flags in that first stage. Do we hit more than that? Do we hit maybe 5 again? Or do we see it get cleaned up here? Maybe go a little bit more clean and green. 1 to 3 definitely isn't too bad. 0 would be pretty cool. 0 would be really cool here. So make sure you guys cast your votes here. It'll be interesting to see what you guys think here. And right now, 3 or more is winning this bet right now, man. 3 or more is definitely right now the top voted. 4 out of 5 votes going to 3 or more caution flags here. Woo, brother! Oh, man, you guys got no faith in the boys, man. What in the world? You guys got no faith in these guys. Come on, chat. Come on now. Help these guys out a little bit. Give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. No, I'm just kidding. You guys do you. As James Garland will be our race leader here for the restart. Wayne Garland will be in second. Chad Lancaster, who unfortunately went a couple laps down early in this race, now back on the lead lap, and he finds himself sitting here in that third position. Cameron Combs got tied up in a couple of those yellows. The 15 ride now rolls there in fifth. Same with Kurt Sponsler. He got tied up a couple times. He's there in fifth. Anthony Garland. We saw Tyler Humphrey and the damage he got. He went a couple laps down. Here he is back on the lead lap, now sitting in the 7th position. And then we see Chris Muse. So the 25 ride, I do believe, is still a lap down here for Edward Belair. Lost connection. He'll look to try to get some laps back. Looking to try to get himself back in this one as Christopher Scott says, I put my life savings on the 22 to win. This is my bookie is gonna kill me. Oh no, Christopher, brother, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. Cameron Combs, Cameron himself in the chat for the 15 ride says, I voted 3 or more. Cameron's got no faith in his fellow competitors here this evening, or maybe that's just for himself. Cameron, what is it? Is it for yourself, or is it for your counterparts out there on the racetrack? What do you think it's gonna be here, man? Is it you causing them, or is it it them causing them, man? I don't know. We've seen that 15 ride tore up a couple of times. I'm messing with you, brother. As here we go. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys cast your votes. What do you guys think? 3 or more? 1 or 3 caution flags or 0? We're going to end the poll here just as we go green flag racing. So make sure you guys cast your votes right now. Let us know how many yellow flags you think we're going to see. You know what? Let's wait until the first caution flag. We're going to eliminate the 0. We'll eliminate the 0 here. We'll wait until we see 1 yellow flag. Once that first yellow flag flies, then we will change it up. As here we go, back to green flag racing. So far, we're cleaning green down into corner number 1 as James Garland, great restart here as a pair of Garlands on the front row. James Garland, Wayne Garland, 1 and 2 as Chad Lancaster trying to hold on to third, but here comes that 15 ride of Cameron Combs. He gets up, scrapes that outside fence, may have killed some of his momentum as he looks to the outside here of Wayne Garland as we see Kurt Sponsler and Anthony Garland battling here for that 9th position, but a big run out of the 9 ride. Our pole sitter who got tied up battling for the race lead between him and the 24 of Dom Salvo, both unfortunately running into some major issues. For the 24 ride, looks like he is done and out of this race. For the 9 ride of Tyler Humphrey, he's right back into the mix here as he's looking to make his way back inside the top 5. As Humphrey rolls there in that 6th position, we see Caleb McKinney right there with him now into 7th, able to work his way through the traffic a little bit quicker than Chris Muse as we see a battle here brewing towards the front as James Garland slides back. Wayne Garland jumps out in front. Cameron Combs will stay in position number 2. So Cameron Combs up and into 2nd here. He's hoping to clear this 37 ride and down the back straightaway. Able to use that outside momentum. Does get 2nd place away from James Garland. So James Garland back to 3rd and Cameron Combs now in 2nd. Does he got enough left in the tank to work his way up to the point here in this feature event? As this is going to be a bit of a crazy end to this race. Obviously, a lot of different tire strategies, a lot of different pitch strategies here through some of those caution flags allowed a bunch of these drivers to navigate their way into the front, virtually leapfrog those drivers that earned stage points early in this race. All those drivers that earned stage points, unfortunately now a little deeper in the field, they're going to have to try to rebound and work their way through some of this traffic. As we see Caleb McKinney still stuck back in 7th. He's got Chris Muse, who was our stage 1 winner, right there with the Muse in the 8th position, trying to work his way up and into 7th. This is a good green flag run early on here in stage number 2, chat. So stage number 2, it's looking pretty good. And you know what? The next time by the start-finish line here for Wayne Garland, we are going to end that. We're going to end that vote, man. We're going to end the poll here. And, you know, right now, 80% of people are 3 or more caution flags here. As there you go. That poll is going to end, man. That is a crazy poll here. We'll have to wait and see if that one lucky person who voted 1 to 3 may be right here in stage number 2. And if you are, you got to brag about it in the chat right now, man. If you are that one person that said 1 to 3 caution flags, man, you'll have to rub it in the other 4 votes here this evening. As Cameron Combs does jump back out in front. Wayne Garland, they're in 2nd now. So Garland slides back to 2nd. As here comes Anthony Garland and James Garland in 3rd and 4th here. They're battling door to door. It's all Garland here at the front of the field, man, as Wayne Garland, James Garland, Anthony Garland sitting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th out there on the speedway. As here comes Tyler Humphrey. Humphrey back inside the top 5, able to navigate his way around Chad Lancaster. Lancaster may slide back another spot as here comes Caleb McKinney, Chris Muse, and Al Reed working right down to his inside. Big run here for the 99. Look at the run on the front straightaway here for Muse. Man, that was a absolute rocket ship down the front straightaway here in this one, as Rodney says, that was me. All right, Rodney guessing 1 to 3 caution flags. It's starting to look good here. I don't want to speak too early, but we are under 20 laps left to go here in this stage. Stage break number 2 will be at the completion of lap number 60 here this evening, as Cameron Combs out in front has this race lead. He's got a good gap here, over a second now between himself and Anthony Garland, but it is a dogfight back here behind him. Wayne Garland, James Garland, Anthony Garland all still inside the top 5 as Caleb McKinney trying to work his way way into that 4th position after now getting around Tyler Humphrey. So they make quick work of Tyler Humphrey as here comes Al Reed. Here comes Chris Muse. Muse way up to the high side again, looking for another big run maybe down this front straightaway. As some tight racing back here behind our race leader, man. It is a absolute hornet's nest back here just inside our top 5 and just outside of him, man. These guys are putting on a hell of a show, and right there with them, here comes Devin Black. Here comes Evan Stewart. Stewart inside the top 10 now himself, so working his way back up here towards the front for that number 13 machine. Evan Stewart finds himself now in position number 9. As Grant Humphrey right there as well, back in 11th. Lancaster unfortunately falls back into that 12th position as Josh Bromfield, Corey Crowell, Casey Gross, Billy Jordan. A lot of these drivers, man, they're watching the chaos here in front of them. They're probably wondering, when will that next caution flag fly? When will that one mistake happen and potentially a lot of drivers that they're battling with get taken out of this race? As Killingbeck and Johnny Thunders back there 17th and 18th. There we see the number 22 and Nicholas Barton back in that 19th position. Kurt Sponsler rounding out our top 20. Gary Wright back in 21st, back on the lead lap there for Gary as Edward Belair, Rob Tuwiscu, and Dom Salvo rounding out the field. Unfortunately, it looks like Dom is the one and only driver officially out of this race. As out in front, though, it's still all Cameron Combs. As Cameron hangs on to the race lead, has this top spot, looking to continue to pull farther and farther away from Anthony Garland. As Anthony solidly there in second, as Tyler Humphrey now back behind him, as Humphrey able to navigate himself not only around Caleb McKinney again, but also getting around James Garland and Al Reed. So for the 9 ride, finding that extra little bit of speed here midway through this stage as James Garland battling down to the inside here. Caleb McKinney. McKinney right on his back bumper, going to push him down the back straightaway into corner number 3. So McKinney still in a hunt here and still in a battle for this 4th position. Al Reed, Devin Black right there ready to pounce. You do see Grant Humphrey starting to work his way into this battle, as well as the Must Love Poodles number 48 trying to work his way now through the top 10 and trying to work his way back up towards the front of the field, as we do see Tyler Humphrey T-Hump back to position number 2 is down low. He's able to edge just out in front of the 81 as they make contact down the back straightaway. So for Tyler Humphrey and Anthony Garland, they bang fenders down into corner number 3 as Humphrey still trying to clear him, just cannot quite slide up in front of the 81, and Anthony Garland will continue to battle here for that 2nd spot on the Speedway. So a good battle here for a 2nd, great battle back for position number 4 as you continue to see that 76 of Caleb McKinney trying to navigate his way around James Garland, and there's some contact. Look out, there goes Garland. Garland's around. Caution flag is out on the racetrack. All right, there's our first yellow flag. First yellow flag here in this one. In stage number 2, first yellow flag is James Garland and Caleb McKinney. Man, it was about time, man. These guys were absolutely jostling back here, man. It was a hornet's nest and back and forth, slide jumps, crossovers, everything else. And finally, these guys make a little bit of contact. And unfortunately, it's the wrong place, wrong time. It's down and out of corner number 2 right here. You're going to watch 76 kind of come up, and it's more or less a little bit of net code that really gets this one started. So net code will continuously be an issue. I think there was going to be contact nonetheless as the 76 kind of gets up into that 37 ride. And then that's what's going to kind of kick that 37 right around. They make a little bit of contact here. James Garland going to go for a loop-de-loop here. And unfortunately, I do believe he is going to make some pretty good contact there with that inside safer barrier. So luckily enough, not a super hard hit, but still a hit nonetheless. And he'll have to try to get some of that damage repaired as the 37 goes around our first caution flag here in stage number 2 this evening. And now this is going to mix things up as we do see a handful of drivers coming down pit road and a lot of drivers staying out. So Cameron Combs, Tyler Humphrey, both going to come down pit lane. So is an Al Reed. Chris Muse also down pit road. Chad Lancaster, Casey Gross, Billy Jordan, Mike Killingbeck, Johnny Thunders, Nicholas Barton, Kurt Sponsler Jr., Gary Wright, James Garland, all coming down pit side here, all making a pit stop about 10 laps, 11 laps prior to the end of this stage. So this is going to get very, very interesting, as Ronnie says, still got two. He says, still got two. You still got two there, Ronnie. Hot Rod, still got two caution flags here. Now, you just got to hope that they're not two quick ones. I think even if there are, I feel like the stage will probably end before that, so I think you should be good. I think you should be all right. I don't think it's going to go over 3 here, but I think for, maybe everybody, 3 would be the best. 3 or more would be right, and 1 to 3 would also be right, so everyone would be kind of on point here with their guesstimates this evening, as Anthony Garland has the race lead. He's going to be looking to try to hold these guys off, looking to try to pick up a big stage win here to really help him out with the points here on the season. Points are definitely going to be a hot commodity here throughout the night, man. A lot of these drivers are really going to be looking to try to earn as many points as possible, knowing that we're very close to our first round of the playoffs here on the season. With those playoffs just around the corner, you want to get every single point you can get, and picking up a big stage win could be that difference maker here this evening. Let's take a look here at the point standings right now as they came into this race. Let's take a look here. So obviously stage 1 points are not going to be in this, but for Caleb McKinney, Cameron Combs, Al Reed, Grant Humphrey, Tyler Humphrey, they're feeling pretty decent here. I do know that Tyler Humphrey, he's locked in. Devin Black is locked in. And obviously for Caleb McKinney, Cameron Combs also locked in to the playoffs here this year. But for all those other drivers that are, through those points, you got to be very, very cautious. When you look back here towards that cut line on the outside of our top 17, you look at Dom Salvo, who had a tough night here tonight. That may have ended his chances, as now he goes from back 1 point at the back of the pack here. He needs Lancaster, Anthony Garland, Josh Bromfield to have bad nights as well, to try to at least kind of stay pace with them a little bit here in this feature event. Gary Wright back there as well needs some big points. So does Billy Jordan, Edward Belair, Wayne Garland, James Garland, all need some big points to try to work themselves into a playoff position here late in this season. I think right now, if you're, kind of sitting around Chris Muse, you're 34 points up, you're still a little bit cautious, but you got to be feeling pretty good about your chances here, as here we go. Back to green flag racing. Is the green flag going to fly here once again? So we go back to battle. It's Anthony Garland with a good restart. Good jump, good drive here for that 81 ride, as Ronnie says, those restarts though, yeah, we saw a couple bad restarts during that first stage. So far here in this restart, though, not as bad, as Anthony Garland continues to hold on to the top spot. Here comes Grant Humphrey, though, looking to try to take the race lead away from him, as you do see the 76 of Caleb McKinney really push up the racetrack. That's going to open up the door here for him not only to slide back behind the 7, but the 2 ride of Corey Crowell will take advantage and jump up into that 4th position, as Grant Humphrey still battling here with Anthony Garland for this top spot. Can Grant Humphrey take it away and win stage number 2 here this evening? And how will this kind of play out for a bunch of these drivers? How will the pit strategy be a difference maker here throughout this race? Is down and across the line, they'll complete lap number 54. So 6 laps left to go here in stage number 2 here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in, make sure you guys do us a favor, man. Hit that like button on the stream right now for us. Hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber yet here on Peacemaker Gaming, make sure you become a subscriber right mother fluffing now, as Grant Humphrey out in front has this race lead, looking to try to win stage number 2 here this evening, as Anthony Garland now trying to hold on to second at least here, as the 2 rider Corey Crowell right there on his back bumper. Here comes Devin Black. Here comes Evan Stewart. Evan right back into the mix of this one. So Evan Stewart into that 5th position now on the Speedway. In a great run down the back straightaway, but here comes the 9 right as well. Tyler Humphrey right into the battle. Here comes Tyler Humphrey looking to race his way back out in front, as they're 3 wide right in front of him. Oh, baby, that could have went the wrong way in a quick hurry. Luckily enough for the 9 rod, gets a great run, a great drive down the front straightaways. There's still more contact. Look out, Evan Stewart in the 81 of Anthony Garland bouncing off each other. other, and unfortunately for that 13 ride, got some pretty good contact right there, got into the fence, lost a bunch of momentum, and will fall back into the 8th position as Grant Humphrey, though, out in front has Corey Crowell and his twin brother Tyler Humphrey back behind him now in 2nd and 3rd. Cameron Combs back up into that 4th position as Devin Black there in 5th, as here comes Tyler Humphrey down to the inside, looking to take that 2nd spot away from Corey Crowell, but Crowell gonna battle door to door here with them. They know that this tight battle and extra points on the line, every single point may make a difference, may be the difference between advancing into the playoffs or unfortunately being eliminated from the playoffs here this season. So for the number 2 of Corey Crowell wanting these points, same with Grant Humphrey, they are able to do a great job and continue to keep themselves out in front, because here comes the end of this stage here at a quick, only a couple laps left to go. Grant Humphrey sees these guys getting bigger and bigger into his rear view mirror as Must Love Poodle says, "Get it, Grant!" Cheered on Grant this evening, and it looks like it may be the start of our race here. Humphrey's out in front as Tyler Humphrey had that pole position. Grant Humphrey started in 2nd. Now here they are running 1 and 2 with only 1 lap left to go here in stage number 2 this evening. So 1 lap left here in this stage. Grant Humphrey, Tyler Humphrey, 1 and 2. It's Cameron Combs trying to steal position number 3 away from Corey Crowell here. Looks like Crowell with a big run down the back straightaway, and will keep that 15 ride potentially back there at base. Here comes Al Reed, Evan Stewart there in 6. Devin Black, Chris Muse, Josh Bromfield, and Casey Gross are top 10, but no one will catch the Must Love Poodles number 48 as Grant Humphrey will win the 2nd stage of the day. Grant Humphrey with that 2nd stage win. Tyler Humphrey will come home in 2nd with Cameron Combs, Corey Crowell, Al Reed, Evan Stewart, Devin Black, Chris Muse, Josh Bromfield, and Casey Gross rounding out our top 10 here in this 2nd stage. So, for Ronnie Stewart, he guessed it right, man. Only 1 caution flag there in stage number 2. Ronnie got it right here in this one, man. That was a heck of a call by Rodney, man. That was definitely a good one. I was leaning more towards the 0. I thought we were going to go clean and green there in that one, so it was definitely a tight one here in this one. As Must Love Poodle says, nice, well done, MLP cars. The Must Love Poodle cars, man. 1 and 2 out there on the racetrack for this stage. As Ronnie Stewart says, Evan, get your butt to the bottom, he says. Get your butt to the bottom. As, yeah, Tyler was definitely coming for him right there. Tyler was definitely hunting him down, but you got to wonder about the tire strategy here. We saw Tyler Humphrey, he was up inside the top 3, came down pit road there during that 1 caution flag in our 2nd stage, back on lap number 50, came down pit road. Now he's got 10 laps here. I don't know if he threw fresh tires on or if it's just part of the strategy here for that 9 ride, but nonetheless, he did come down pit road, made that pit stop there, may now have 10 lap old tires here compared to a lot of these other drivers, but we'll have to wait and see what the call will be. Down pit side is Grant Humphrey, Tyler Humphrey, and it looks like pretty much everybody will work their way down pit side except for Casey Gross. Casey, he's going to stay out here. So Casey Gross stays out, does not come down pit side here. He was one of those drivers that pitted back on lap number 50. So wasn't James Garland. He's going to stay out as well. This could mix things up quite a bit as drivers head down pit side. They're looking to get some changes, looking to get some pit stops in here. As you do see Tyler Humphrey, a bit of a mistake right there for Tyler Humphrey, but he should make a fairly quick pit stop. He's able to roll out of here, spin in the tires. We'll have to wait and see where iRacing scores him here, as it is going to be Cameron Combs potentially first out of pit lane. Tyler Humphrey there in 2nd. Al Reed back in 3rd. Chris Muse will come out of the pits in position number 4 with Kurt Sponsler back in 5th. And then we see Johnny Thunders, Chad Lancaster, Killing Peck, Corey Crowell there in 11th. Grant Humphrey, who was able to win that stage, unfortunately having to throw tires on here in the opposite end of that pit strategy for the 48 ride, will now be back in traffic here, stuck back in about the 12th position for this restart. Billy Jordan, Evan Stewart right there behind him with Devin Black, Josh Bromfield, Anthony Garland, Nicholas Barton, Gary Wright, and Wayne Garland are top 20 here for this restart. Edward Belair will be back in 21st, and Caleb McKinney, long time down pit road here for Caleb McKinney, and unfortunately for McKinney, he'll come out of the pits, now scored back in the 22nd position in that M&M Auto Parts number 76 here this evening, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Here in this one, the official iRacing pace car, lights are turned off, and we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag battling here in this one, as we are just halfway in, halfway to go here this evening. So about 62 more laps left here in this feature event, and for all of these drivers, we saw some craziness, we saw some mayhem, and obviously a couple of those stage breaks have now come and gone. So now we're getting into our final stage. Those caution flags may be far and few in between, so you cannot make mistakes. You got to hit potential green flag pit stops perfectly here in this one. As for all these drivers, you can make it about 30 to 32 laps on a fuel run. So with everyone coming down pit road right there, I do believe everyone should be able to make it potentially on one more pit stop here. One more pit stop could be the call here, and potentially staying out. Maybe it'll work for you a little longer out of the racetrack. Maybe trying to save a little bit of fuel here in the first half of this run compared to the second half, making sure that you don't get too close there on that fuel. Maybe the call for these drivers is here we go. Down and out of corner number 4. Pace car will make that hard left-hand time. And for the Quantum Motorsports, number 77 rider, Casey Gross, he gets the restart, he gets the launch, and he is out in front and looking to try to keep all these drivers back there behind him at bay, as the caution flag will come right back out here in this one. So a quick caution flag here as a driver that had just gotten back on the lead lap. Edward Belair going to run into some issues, slow down on the front straightaway, a little bit of contact and damage there for him. Let's take a look back and see what happens as they're 3 wide and they're just getting to the start finish line right here. So maybe for Edward Belair, let's see if there's a bit of a jump here for him, or if maybe just a little bit of a checkup here in front of him. There you go. He's going to get a good launch. It's a good launch. See that checkup right there, and that's exactly what caused it. So it looks like Devin Black. I don't know if he gets contact here from Anthony Garland, but if you watch a little farther forward, about 4 rows up, you're going to see these guys start to stack up, and unfortunately, it's just going to continue on back here. 16 will get in the back of the 81. The 76 will get in the back of the 16, and then for the 25 ride, just trying to get a good run, a good launch here, looking to the middle, and unfortunately, no room there as they all start checking up. Him and the 76 make contact, gets into Wayne Garland. Wayne goes around as well, as the caution flag will come right back out. So a quick caution flag and another restart on the horizon. One driver that's going to be loving that is going to be the 6th rider, Rob Tuisku. Tuisku went a few laps down early in this race. Had a lot of other drivers that were already a lap down that had already been, battling here to get back on the lead lap. All those drivers are back on the lead lap now, and for this number 6 rider, Rob Tuisku, I do believe he is going to be in that free pass position, so he should get the wave around, should get a lap back here, and he's going to go from 5 laps down to 4 laps down, so another 3 or 4 caution flags if no one else goes a lap down here. Tuisku could find himself back on the lead lap here in this feature event, as the only driver that is currently lapped down is this 6th ride, and unfortunately the only driver that is down and out of this race is the 24 of Dom Salvo, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. Oh man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting, man. This is going to be another good restart, another good battle here towards the front of the field. And for these drivers, man, this is going to make for some very interesting action. I think we're going to see a lot of fun, maybe a little bit more craziness here in this one. Let's see what you guys think here. All right, as we're going to get a quick break in here, we're going to get a quick look in here at our, let's see if we can get one of our sponsors up here, Midland Struggler. we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. New poll in the comment section. New poll for everybody here. We got some more caution flags here throughout this race. What do you guys think it'll be? What do you guys think the caution flag number will be late in this race? New poll, go vote. What do you guys think? Let's see what you guys feel. As here we go, back to green flag racing. Green flag back into the air for the 77 of Casey Gross. So Casey gets another good launch, another good restart, and quickly he's trying to pull away from the rest of the field. As Tyler Humphrey, T-Hump, back up and into second here. Able to navigate his way around that 15 of Cameron Combs. Combs right on his back bumper though, looking down to the inside, down the back straightaway and into corner number 3 as they reel closer to the back bumper. Here of our race leader, Casey Gross, as they're door-to-door, back down and out at corner number 4. It is the 9 ride of Tyler Humphrey, able to get a big run right here, looking to the outside now of the 77 as James Garland gets a good run himself, looks down to the inside here on Cameron Combs. Al Reed, Kurt Sponsler right there ready to pounce. So good to see some of the Elite Sim racing rides up here towards the front of the field. That's Chris Muse, our stage 1 winner. Up and into 7th now, has Mike Killing back down to his inside. The 0-2 of Lancaster, and here comes Johnny Thunders. First time we've seen Thunders up inside the top 10 here this evening as he battles to the outside of Corey Crowell for that 10th position. Evan Stewart trying to race his way back inside the top 10 with Grant Humphrey, Anthony Garland, Billy Jordan, Devin Black, they're in 16th. Caleb McKinney back in 17th. As Nicholas Barton up in the 15th position there. Then he's going to move everyone back a little bit as James Bromfield, Wayne Garland are top 20. As we do see Gary Wright, Edward Belair, Rob Tuwisku, who's still down about 4 laps here in this race, looking for some more caution flags. He's that 6 ride. He would love to see 3 or 4 caution flags. That is for certain here in this one. As Tyler Humphrey, though, with the race lead, able to jump up, quickly work his way around Casey Gross, and for our pole sitter, hoping to try to run away with this one. As look out, they're getting squirrely back behind us. Oh baby, it's a hornet's nest back here deeper in the field, man. 2, 3, 4 wide. You see Johnny Thunders up and into the outside fence right there, just trying to hang on to that beautiful Quantum Motorsports number 60 ride. As he's got Rob Tuwisku, the 12 ride of Bromfield right there with him. Wayne Garland down to his inside as they continue to battle out here on the racetrack, man. Drivers maybe on a little fresher tire, a little newer tire here, trying to navigate their way to the front. Other drivers maybe just trying to play it easy, trying to play it smart, play it safe here, and let this race kind of come to them. Tire wear may play a factor here throughout this race, so if you can kind of take it a little easier, save a little tire for later in the run, if you're the drivers of, potentially Grant Humphrey or Caleb McKinney, Devin Black, some guys that we've seen up towards the front of the field, if you kind of hang out a little bit, save these tires, trying to put yourself into a better position later in the run, may be that winning situation. As out in front, Tyler Humphrey has that race lead, looking to try to keep Al Reed now back there at bay. Good to see Al Reed up here at the front of the field, man. That beautiful M&M Auto Parts LLC machine now into second here. Can he pick up the win here in the M&M Auto Parts 300 here this evening? Can he get that done? Can he put the sponsor up and into victory lane here this evening as he looks to hunt down our race leader as Casey Gross continues to try to hold on to position number 3 here on the Speedway. So far doing a really good job battling here inside the top 2, top 3, battling there for that race lead as we do see Corey Crowell early on making some big moves. We just saw Corey battling outside the top 10. Here he is now up inside the top 4, and for the 2 ride, that Mars machine, that Quest ride, trying to work his way up and in to the top 3 here now on the Speedway. James Garland falls back into 5th as Kurt Sponsler right there behind him in that 6th position. Has Chris Muse and Cameron Combs. Combs unfortunately falling backwards here rather quickly. Was just battling up there towards the front of the field, battling inside our top 2, top 3, and now here he is falling all the way back now into that 9th position as we do see Nicholas Barton. Looks like Barton's entered pit road here during the green flag conditions. This is an unscheduled pit stop for that Shaw Landscaping number 22 ride, and I think it may be connection issues here for Nicholas Barton. So Barton looks like he is going to actually tow that car down pit lane Man, this is a tough break for that 22 Ryan. Well, take a look here. It doesn't look like they're doing any damage repair, but I do see that the Shaw Landscaping LLC.com Ryan parked down pit road here. He's already gone a lap down, and if he doesn't get back out there in a quick hurry, he may be at risk of losing even more laps here in this race. As Tyler Humphrey, though, has the race lead, sitting out in front, man, feeling pretty A-okay right now, as he's got himself a bit of a gap between him and Al Reed. As next time by the start-finish line, ladies and gentlemen, we will end our poll. Oh my gosh, we got one person voting for 0 to 2 caution flags to finish off this race, and we got one person that voted for 8 or more yellow flags. Oh my gosh, what are you trying to do to us here? 8 or more yellow flags, that's what you're going to vote for. Chat, make sure you guys cast your votes right now. Before it's too late, cast your votes in the poll in the comment section right now. What do you guys think the amount of yellow flags will be here to finish off this feature event? Let's give it one more lap. Cast those votes right now as Tyler Humphrey, Al Reed, Casey Gross, 1, 2, and 3 out there on the Speedway. Next time by, we'll complete lap number 80. Here this evening. So 80 laps will be completed. 45 laps of this race will be left. So 45 laps left to go here in this feature event. As there we go. We got one for 5 to 7. Okay, one more vote for 5 to 7 there. All right, we'll keep it alive here. We'll do one more lap and then we are ending the poll, chat. One more lap and then we are ending the poll, and we'll have to wait and see who can get it right and who will have the correct guess on how many caution flags we'll have here until the end of this race. Right now, it's a three-way tie here. It's going to get very, very interesting to see who is going to win that one, as Tyler Humphrey down and out of corner number 4, back down across the line. Half a second gap for him. He will click off lap number 81, and that will end the poll here. So you got one vote for 0 to 2, one vote for 5 to 7, and one vote for 8 or more caution flags here to finish off this race. That's going to make things very, very fun to see who's going to be able to get that right, who's going to be able to win that poll here this evening, as T. Humphrey continues to lead the way. Al Reed there in second. Casey Gross sits in position number 3 here. Great run, great drive here for that number 77 rider, Casey Gross, man. Maybe the track position is really what he needed to try to put himself into a solid run here this evening, as Corey Crowell back behind him still. Chris Muse now up and into 5th, as Evan Stewart battling his way again back up towards the front here. Evan Stewart back into that 6th position. We'll see if he can crack the top 5, as James Garland trying to hold on to that 7th position. He's got the M&M Auto Parts number 76 of Caleb McKinney right down to his inside. McKinney trying to battle his way back to the front of the field, as Kurt Sponsor trying to hang on to that 9th position, as Cameron Combs right there to his outside. They're both trying to hang on to the top 10 right now, as here comes Anthony Garland, Grant Humphrey, Devin Black, Mike Killingbeck, Billy Jordan, Gary Wright there in 16th, with Josh Bromfield, Johnny Thunders, Chad Lancaster, and Wayne Garland rounding out our top 20. Edward Belair back in 21st with Rob Tuiscu, Nicholas Barton back in 23rd, and Dom Salvo bringing up the rear of the field, as here comes James Garland. James is going to head down pit road here. Now this may be a little bit of an earlier pit stop for that number 37 ride, as fuel definitely going to play a major factor here in this race. And for James Garland, I do believe pitting a little bit early here. I don't think he's going to be able to make it to the end of this race without having to make at least one more pit stop. As down and across the line, they will complete lap number 85 here this evening. So 85 laps completed, 40 laps left to go here in this feature event. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to jump into our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up here with 40 laps left to go. Crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up. Alrighty, a beautiful crank it up session giving us the sights and sounds around the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway here this evening. It's Sin City, and for one of these drivers, they're looking to cash in, looking to try and hit the jackpot here this evening and park themselves into victory lane. As out in front, it is Evan Stewart. Stewart now has the race lead here. A very good pit stop here. Let's take a look at the pit stint length here. Let's take a look here at the stint length for these pit stops and see the gaps that he was able to get. So for that number 13 right at Evan Stewart, man, really good time down pit road here. Was able to gain quite a bit of a gap, quite a bit of an advantage here between himself and the number 9 of Tyler Humphrey. Humphrey had the race lead when he had come down pit road. As he left pit lane, Evan Stewart, who was running in 4th, ended up in the top spot, ended up taking that race lead away from Tyler Humphrey. And now here he is trying to run away with it, trying to open up a big lead and see if he can give himself a bit of an advantage. Let's take a look here at the pit stop lap here and take a look and see. See, that's the pit stop lap. Let's take a look at the pit stop time, pit lane time here. Not really going to give us much of a different look at it. I thought it was going to give us a bit of a different theory, a little bit of a different look. Doesn't really give us too much there. There's pit stop times and where he was able to gain that advantage, that extra little bit of an edge here, and having that better pit stop to beat that number 9 right off of pit lane. So a little bit quicker down pit road, a little bit quicker of a pit stop, and it's enough to give Evan Stewart the advantage here in this feature event. So great run, great drive there for that number 13 machine. As he sits out in front, looking to try to run away with it. Now you got to wonder here, is Tyler Humphrey maybe just trying to save a little bit of tire here, waiting for a little later in this race to strike to reel in this 13 ride of Evan Stewart. It's Corey Crowell back here in 3rd. He's been virtually faster than both of them in front of him. So let's see if Corey Crowell maybe has got something left in the tank late in this race. Al Reed back in position number 4. Caleb McKinney back there in 5th. Chris Muse in 6th with Cameron Combs right there on his back bumper as Grant Humphrey battles door to door here with Casey Gross. It's a battle for the 8th position. Looks like Grant Humphrey will take it away from him here as Casey Gross now falls back into that 9th position. Devin Black right there behind him, rounding out our top 10 is James Garland, Kurt Sponsler, Anthony Garland, Josh Bromfield and Mike Killingbeck will round out our top 15. Billy Jordan back in 16th with Gary right there in 17th. Wayne Garland, Chad Lancaster, Johnny Thunders our top 20. Edward Belair back in 21st. Rob Tuwisku back in 22nd as Nicholas Barton back down pit road here. He scored back in that 23rd position. And Dom Salvo rounding out our field as Ronnie Stewart says lucky 13. Lucky number 13 right there, and a great pit stop for Evan Stewart gives him the late race lead. Now can he hang on to it? Can he put himself up and into victory lane here in this feature event? Can he get it done? Can he find the dub here this evening as Evan Stewart out in front? He's got about 6/10 of a second here. 6/10 of a second, 16 laps left to go here in this feature event. Does he have enough to keep these guys back there at bay? And do we see a potential late race caution flag? Do we see a late race yellow flag? Will one fly? Will we see that extra caution flag come out and potentially really shuffle things up here towards the front of the field? If anyone back here is saving tires, when you look at, Tyler Humphrey or maybe Al Reed, Caleb McKinney, if they're saving tires, if they know that that's going to be their only chance or opportunity to potentially win this race is by having better tires in a little bit of a shorter run here with the caution flag to gain that track position back, that may be their only way of winning this feature event. So they may be playing a little bit safer than Evan Stewart, Tyler Humphrey, and Corey Crowell here late in this run. It's Evan Stewart down across the line here. We'll click off another lap, and it's 14 laps left to go as the gap is about still 6/10 of a second between first and second. So 6/10 of a second here, less than a second now between first, all the way back to third here with Corey Crowell. Al Reed back there in fifth. Now, Al Reed, he is about 4.5 seconds back of our race leader. You look at Caleb McKinney, he's about 6 seconds back of our race leader. Unfortunately for those two drivers, they're going to be kind of back here. They're going to be too far back that I don't think they'll be able to gain that amount of time, that amount of track position to work themselves into a better spot. But now the big question mark is, will that 1 lap difference for the pit stop make a difference here for this number 2 ride? The Mars Racing League number 2 of Corey Crowell pitted a lap later than Tyler Humphrey and Evan Stewart, so he does have 1 lap better tires. So the K West group number 2 ride sitting here in third may have that little bit of an edge, that little bit of an advantage here. We'll have to wait and see if he's maybe burned his stuff up or if he's still got a little bit left in the tank here to make a late race charge. But I think either for Tyler Humphrey or Corey Crowell, they're kind of sitting on the outside looking in right now. They're running out of time in a quick hurry as down the back straightaway into corner number 3 for the HB Racing AG's Designs number 13 ride of Evan Stewart. Back down across the line, it will be only 11 laps left to go here in this race. 11 laps left to go here for Evan Stewart. Can he hold them off? When's it go time? If you're Tyler Humphrey, if you're Corey Crowell, when is it time to go? When is it time to strike? Because you not only have to catch the race leader, if you can't catch him, you got to figure out a way to get around him, make a pass stick, and work your way into the top spot here. I know for Tyler Humphrey, he's definitely going to be looking to try to pick up a dump here in this one. He wants another big win and some more bonus points into his back pocket going into our playoffs. For that 9 run would mean a ton. But for Evan Stewart, a driver that's on the outside of our top 20 here in points, a win this evening, I'm not sure what that will do for him in the aspect of potentially locking his way into the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see after the race and what those point standings will look like. As Evan Stewart, with only 10 laps left to go, it'll be 9 this time down across the line. And here comes Tyler Humphrey starting to reel him in. This time around, looks like he is going to run virtually about 0.3 of a second quicker, so the gap has been cut in half that lap. So 1 lap gained 0.3 of a second, reels in this 13 ride quite a bit. Gives himself a little bit more breathing room between himself and Corey Crowell now. So for Tyler Humphrey, is it a late race charge to try and put himself up and into victory lane? Does Evan Stewart have enough left over here to try to keep this 9 ride back there at bay as the Isabel's Impact Must Love Poodles, number 9 ride, trying to hunt him down. Lap traffic here in front of him as well. The 0-2 ride of Chad Lancaster, unfortunately about to fall a lap down out there on the Speedway. So Lancaster does lose a lap. He moves down and out of the way here, allows Tyler Humphrey to get by here as well. Now we'll have to wait and see if that's going to affect Humphrey's entry here and if he's going to end up losing some time here on this lap getting around that 0-2 ride. We'll have to wait and see. Is down and across the line. Evan Stewart still about 0.3 of a second here, so hasn't really lost anything, hasn't really gained anything the last few laps, but that means we're getting closer and closer to the checkered flag for that 13 ride. There's only 7 laps left to go here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, who do you think gets it done? Will Evan Stewart hang on to it and find victory lane here this evening? Will Tyler Humphrey be able to make a late race charge and steal the win away from the 13 ride? Do we see Corey Crowell maybe making a charge here himself and putting himself into the battle here for the race win here this evening? Or do we see a late race caution flag to potentially really mix things up here in this one? Is down out of corner number 2. The gap looks to be shrinking a little bit. Some lap traffic here in front of that number 13 ride. Is Evan Stewart trying to hold on to that 0.3 of a second gap. He's trying to take the lane away from the 9 ride. He will roll the outside groove, look for a big run down the front straightaway for the 13 ride as he looks to lap the 60 ride of Johnny Thunders. Thunders will unfortunately go a lap down as it is 5 laps left to go. Now here comes a big run for the 9 ride of Tyler Humphrey. Humphrey Oh, baby, he reels him in right there. A great first and second corner on the racetrack here with only 5 laps left to go. It is time to strike. If you're that 9 ride, jumps down to the inside again, looking for another big run down through 3 and 4, trying to stay door to door with the 13. Evan Stewart, though, good run. That outside momentum will pay off for him here. It's down across the line. It's 4 laps left to go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go, as 2 of the best are about to duke it out for the checkered flag here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. One of them will cash in and hit the jackpot here this evening in Sin City, as the 13, lucky number 13 here this evening. Is it going to be Evan Stewart's day in finding his way into victory lane, or will Tyler Humphrey steal it away from him? 3 laps to settle it. 3 laps left to go here in this one. Evan Stewart rolling them over that middle high side lane, as Mr. Humphrey rolling that bottom groove here, trying to find a different lane, a different roll here. Not only does he have to catch him, but he's got to find a way to get around him here. Can Tyler Humphrey set it up and find his way into the victory lane here this evening? Is down across the line. It is 2 laps left to go. 2 laps left to go here for Evan Stewart, man. What a run, what a drive for Stewart. Got tied up early on in a wreck, had some more issues, has been back and forth throughout the field. A late race pit stop during the green flag conditions. A good pit stop gave him the race lead, and for the 13 ride, once he got it, he's not looking to give it up. He has got that fresh air, he's got the top spot, and he's looking to keep Tyler Humphrey back there at bay for one more lap here in the M&M Auto Parts 300, as the white flag has been displayed for the 13 of Evan Stewart. The 9 ride had some lap traffic here in front of him that may affect Humphrey's run down through 1 and 2. That may hurt his chances, as Evan Stewart will lead us down into corner number 3 for the final time here this evening. Out of corner number 4, looks like Humphrey will not get there, as Evan Stewart will pick up the checkered flag here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Evan Stewart gets it done and picks up the win here this evening. What a run and what a drive there for the 13 machine, as Evan Stewart will be crowned our winner here in Las Vegas. He picks up the win in the M&M Auto Parts 300 here this evening, as Tyler Humphrey will have to settle for second, and Corey Cromwell will round out our top 3. But man, what a run, what a job, and what a race, man. And just like we've seen numerous times here in the series, early on, caution flags, chaos, contact all over the racetrack, and a lot of tore up race cars. The second half of the race, though, always tends to be that much better, man. What do we see? 1 caution flag during that second stage, and then here in the final stage, again, only that 1 yellow flag off the initial restart for the stage here, and then it was clean and green for a very long time. And for these drivers, man, putting on one absolutely amazing show for us here this evening, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for all these drivers. What a run, what a draw by all of them, man. What a performance for that 13 ride of Evan Stewart. It looked like Stewart may have ran out of fuel just past the start-finish line. Fuel was definitely going to start to become an issue here for some of these drivers. I think for Stewart being so hard on the throttle so quickly, I think that fuel was running low in a quick hurry here this evening, man. But what a run, what a drive, what a performance here by each and every one of these drivers, man. That was absolutely amazing, absolutely so much fun to watch here this evening, as we'll get ready to pull our race winner and the rest of our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews here. We'll wait for Evan to jump into the Discord here and get him into the booth. I don't see him in there as of right now, so we'll wait for Evan to jump into the waiting room. And as we do wait for our race winner to get in there, oh, there he is, never mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here to Evan Stewart here in this one, man. As Evan picks up the dub, let's get him up here into the booth. Hey, Evan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Not much. Evan, man, what a run. What a race for you here this evening. Obviously, early on, you're navigating your way through the traffic, then all of a sudden you get tied up in an early race wreck. You end up with a ton of damage. You have to get this car repaired. It sends you back deeper in the field again, and it seemed like all night long that was the process for you. You worked your way towards the front, you went to the back. You worked your way to the front, went to the back. And then late in this race, with no late race caution flags to affect you, you're able to make a good run back up inside the top five. An absolutely perfect pit stop here to give yourself the race lead and to stay in front of Tyler Humphrey. And you're able to use that gap, that little bit that you built up, to keep him back there at bay to find victory lane here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Man, take us back through it and what's going through your mind.
Yeah, so I really do apologize to Tyler on that wreck. Like I said, told him I had a big run on Wayne, so I was really trying to focus on that. And then I just so happened to look forward, and there's two cars wrecked in front of me. So that was definitely a rookie move on my part. You don't see a lot of ARCA breaking out of me, but uh, a lot of it, what I ended up taking tires after that wreck. So I was on the same set of tires from about lap 20 to the end of stage two. Still got a top five in stage two, so that obviously didn't affect me too much. But once we got to the third stage, I knew that we could go racing a little bit, and a lot about this car is driving where cars aren't. So if you got one in the first lane and one in the third lane, middle lane, clean air. Put your nose in clean air. Your car's gonna turn. The less work you have to do, the more you're gonna save the tires. Um, so I feel like I have a pretty decent edge over a lot of people here on doing that, on especially with experience, considering this is quite literally the only car I race. Um, it's and then pit stops. I caught Tyler pretty good. I think I pulled like right up behind him, and when we both pitted, so 1/10 behind each other during pit stops, and then it's just all about who gets in and out of their box faster. So and then after that, I had clean air, so I knew if I could just when he got close enough to me, I knew if I could run where he ran, I would have somewhat of an advantage because, like I said, dirty air makes you plow to the moon. So
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to put some of that dirty air onto his nose, making him a little tighter back there behind you, making it that much tougher for him to try to reel you in or make a move to get around you here. As you guys came out of the pits, he kind of fell back a little bit there. You know, that 6, 7 tenths behind you, then kind of hung out there, where you got a little bit worried maybe late in this race that fuel would become an issue, or maybe he was saving a little bit more tires where he was going to be able to try to hunt you down in a quick hurry and use the fresher tires to, kind of counterpart that dirty air and still get past you here late in this race.
yeah, so I didn't know why he was dropping back so much until like 5 laps ago when I realized I was point 0.2 short. So like I ran out of gas coming through the line. Like I coasted all the way back. I wasn't underpowered. I was literally just rolling at the when I crossed the line. So yeah, that kind of scared me a little bit. I almost dropped back behind them to try and save the point two, but at that moment, and I was in the front, I was like, if I run out, I run out. If I don't, I don't. If I build a big enough gap and run out, he won't pass me. So catching lap traffic on the last lap actually kind of helped. It gave me the big enough gap to run out and win the race. So yeah, I was kind of worried, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, I don't. I do this league for fun. I show up when I can. Sometimes I work Sundays, so you know, not that serious if I
Absolutely.
didn't win.
Absolutely. And hey, there is no better place to gamble than here at Las Vegas as you're able to take that gamble. You run out just in time with just enough of a gap to hold Tyler Humphrey back there at bay and pick up a big win here in Sin City. Evan, hell of a run, hell of a drive here this evening, brother. Who would you like to thank for such a great performance out there on the racetrack?
I like to thank my uncle. I can see him in your chat, like he always is. I like to thank my brother. My brother always watches too. Um, I'd like to thank HP Racing, Jordan Fisher. He helps me out a lot. The guys at Outlier. Uh, they're the new setup shop that I help build setups with. I'd like to thank them for giving me an opportunity. It's been wonderful working with them. Just love doing this, man. I know it's just a sim or a game, as everybody calls it, but something about this, it's just gives me that competitive edge.
Yeah, absolutely. It raises that competitiveness, gives you some fun, and gives you something to do here on a afternoon and enjoying some great racing action, especially now with the real life racing season over. I mean, it's going to pick up and it's going to get hot and heavy here on the simulator. So hopefully we'll see you back up here in battle with these guys on another Sunday night or a few more Sundays before this season ends, and seeing if you can find that 13 ride back up here in Victory Lane.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have it. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane.
Always. You too, buddy.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for our race winner here this evening in the M&M Auto Parts 300 here this evening. As Evan Stewart gets the job done and finds his way into victory lane, we'll get ready to pull in the guy that was chasing him down here late in the race. The 9 ride of Tyler Humphrey, who was our pole sitter here this evening. Humphrey ran through his slew of issues. Let's see if we can get the 9 ride up here into the booth. Hey, Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Tyler, man, another strong run, another great race here for you. Unfortunately, looked like maybe just that pit stop late in this race was all that mattered here, and it gives Evan Stewart the race lead, the clean air, and he's able to use it to his advantage to keep you back there at bay to win this race. But take us back through it, because obviously we saw you early on. You had the race lead, and then some contact between you and the 24 Dom Salvo. You guys get tied together down out of core number 4 as he gets loose right in front of you, and then unfortunately for the 13 ride, Evan Stewart, he gets collected in that as well. Heavy damage there for the 3 of you guys, and then you got to try to battle back from it. You end up with the black flag. You go a lap or 2 down. You're able to get those laps back throughout all those early caution flags, and slowly but surely just navigate your way back up here towards the front end. I do believe stage number 2 with a good stage point night, with being able to get that second place right behind your twin brother there in the stage. And now here you are, coming up 1 spot shy for the checkered flag as well. Man, take us back through this race and what's going through your mind.
Yeah, that's a perfect recap of how my day went. Pretty much, yeah, the short and sweet answer is it was a mouthful. There was a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, I mean, early on, I just knew how important that track position was. I wasn't really expecting to get pole, and I don't know what's up with me. I am a choke job when I get the pole. Pocono, I got wrecked in the tunnel turn. Like, it's on me. I mean, there's things I need to improve, and I need to start looking into that, because I think that if we didn't have to get put back in that mess, this day could have been a whole lot different. I think that I didn't get the tire data that I needed throughout that race for that final run, and Evan drove the wheels off that thing and had a great strategy. And that's just where we lost right there. That hurt, because I thought, man, I'm faster than him. I'm faster. And I kept trying to set it up, and there just wasn't enough there. There wasn't enough grip. And unfortunately, we come home second. But yeah, I mean, overall, great day. Tampa Motorsports is fighting tooth and nail with ESR right now for the team standings lead. So that's what's on my mind right now. I'll unfortunately miss next weekend. So I just gotta keep focusing on these races. I think that, man, we could have won so many races this season. I don't know. It was a good one though. I'm glad that we put on another good finish for a second week in a row. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Another good finish, another great green flag run here in this one, as you guys were finally able to get some good green flag laps in, a green flag pit stop, and that's kind of really where it made the difference here, as Evan was able to get out in front of you, and ever since he did, he never looked back and never gave you a shot at trying to take this win back away from him. As Tyler, you come home in second here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, man, and the M&M Auto Parts 300. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
First off, I'd like to thank Eminem for sponsoring this race. I've watched Kurt, and he's so passionate about these sponsors that he gets out here every week, and I know he was wanting a good race, and I hope that, I know it was a rough start, but I hope that finish, I know I didn't get around him, but trust me, I was pushing, I was trying. I hope that was a good finish for all the guys watching. I'd like to thank Tampa Motorsports, all my teammates, Mike, Ed, Devin, Grant. I mean, I can't do it without them. So, all my sponsors, Muscle Up Poodles, Landesco, the Bar Distillery. Isabel's Impact was on the car again this week. A new scheme. That was really cool. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, all the admins, the league. Just, I know what it takes to put on all this, and it's a whole lot. So, yeah, thank you to everybody and to you, Aaron. You put on a great broadcast every week.
I appreciate that, brother Tyler. Man, great run, great race here in this one. Congrats on the second place run, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth next Sunday.
Thank you. You have a good one.
You too. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Mr. Tyler Humphrey. As we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher here, the number 2 of Corey Crowell. Hey, Corey, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
I do, Aaron. What's going on?
Not too much, Corey, man. Solid run, solid day for you here this evening. Not too much contact, not too much rubbing and scrubbing for you. You're able to avoid some of those early caution flags, and here you are duking it out late in this race for what could have been almost a victory here this evening. But obviously those green flag pit stops, no late race caution flags, not being able to kind of break some of that dirty air, just kind of kept you stuck back there in that third position, man. Take us back through it, though, and what's going through your mind?
Yeah, finally a race where I wasn't caught up in something. I felt like there was a few weeks where it was like I worked my way all the way to the front and then, get taken out. But was able to stay clean. Man, I struggled always with, destroying my tires too soon. So I worked on that. I kept working on it, and I got a lot better. Now I think I need to improve on my entrance to pit road because I think that's where I'm losing a lot of my time. But man, those. Evan and Tyler, they ran a heck of a race. They were fast. I waited too long to push it. I was just kind of chilling. I was hoping they were going to be racing it out a little sooner and a little longer than what they were, but that wasn't the case. But I mean, they did what they had to do, to be in that spot. They ran a heck of a race, and so congrats again to Evan, and Tyler for his second. And I'll take a P3.
Absolutely solid day. No major issues for you. Didn't get collected in any chaos or mayhem out there on the racetrack. And then obviously seeing some good green flag laps here in the latter half of this race as well. It's always good to see, man. Seeing you guys having to actually go down there and make some green flag pit stops here this evening is definitely a cool thing to see. And now after a few weeks of really not seeing green flag pit stops, you kind of get back into that swing of things and trying to figure out your marks and where you need to kind of fight down pit road to try to gain that extra bit of an edge, or maybe just not to give too much up there on those green flag pit stops for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I was glad to see it go green as long as it was. I had a vasectomy at the end of the week, so I'm a little sore. I think I was kind of going faster because I just wanted to get it over with, so I didn't have to sit down anymore. But yeah, it's nice to see the green flags. The start of it was a little rough. Restarts were a little rough, and we'll get it cleaned up. The admins do a good job at cleaning that up. So kudos to everybody for that, the long green flags. And I hope M&M Auto really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, absolutely. A heck of a show, heck of a race here, and amazing sponsor to be on board with us here for this amazing race at Las Vegas Motor Speedways. Corey, you come home in third, man. Anyone else you'd like to thank here for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Yeah, again, M&M Auto for sponsoring the race. Like I said, I hope they enjoyed it. Lucky to have somebody like that to jump on board and sponsor a race like this. Shenko Custom Diecast and Designs. Let to go the Mars team, everything that they do outside of helping me practice, to get better at these races is awesome, and just everybody involved. And you for broadcasting, and then everybody watching.
Absolutely. Well, Corey, heck of a run, heck of a drive, man. Hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth next Sunday.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Corey Crowell. As Corey comes home in position number 3 here this evening. And now talking about our sponsor, M&M, man, we can't thank them enough. M&M Auto Parts coming on board here with us here this evening from the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway, here for a great show out of the Outcast Racing League. As we're going to get ready to end the night, we're actually going to play a couple of their commercials. I wasn't too sure how long they were, and I didn't really get them in time, so didn't really get to play them there throughout some of those early caution flags. Obviously, things moving quickly here this evening, but we're going to get a good time here now to play those commercials. Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge thumbs up in the comment section right now for M&M Auto Parts, and make sure you guys show them some love here this evening, as that's going to do it for us here in this one. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys give us a shout as well, man. Hit the like button on the stream for us right now. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you guys 100% turn those bell notifications on, because you never want to miss it when we go Green Flag Racing here on Peacemaker Gaming, as we'll be back in the booth tomorrow night for some more amazing racing action. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
When it's time to fix it, find it, or upgrade it, trust the experts. At M&M Auto Parts, we've got over 150,000 parts in stock and ready for delivery. And for the hands-on builders and bargain hunters, stop by Rupert's You Pull It, where we give you the freedom to pull the parts yourself and save big. Visit any one of our 3 locations in Virginia, or visit us online at mmauto.com to browse our grand inventory. With over 60 years of experience, when it comes to auto parts, we know how to pick them. Don't wait. Race on down to your nearest M&M Auto Parts location, or find us on the web and give us a shout. M&M Auto, family-owned, quality parts. When it's time to fix it, find it, or upgrade it, trust the experts. At M&M Auto Parts, we've got over 150,000 parts in stock and ready for delivery. And for the hands-on builders and bargain hunters, stop by Rupert's You Pull It, where we give you the freedom to pull the parts yourself and save big. Visit any one of our 3 locations in Virginia, or visit us online at mmauto.com to browse our grand inventory. With over 60 years of experience, when it comes to auto parts, we know how to pick them. Don't wait. Race on down to your nearest M&M Auto Parts location, or find us on the web and give us a shout. The M&M Auto, family-owned, quality parts.
Has your tech hit the rev limiter? We've got you covered. Your business doesn't stop, neither should your IT. Servers crash, software freezes, networks lag. We overtake all issues when we're behind the wheel. Whether you're a startup, a growing team, or a full-blown operation, we keep your system's motor running, your data safe, and your crew running like clockwork. Partnering with IBM to accelerate innovation, security, and scalability. Don't wait for a disaster. Start up with IT support that will put rubber to road. Fast support, real people, minimal downtime, advanced technical solutions.